What is up, Muscular Development? David Baye here, our first episode of All Access MD. I've been wanting to do a video show for a while now, guys, so figured I'd get things started here with the competition year winding down and stuff. And what better first guest to have on my show than the man himself, Kevin Levrone.
Thanks, David.
Levrone,
Boom.
making that clear on your
Yeah,
Facebook the other day. Kevin, we
that's
talked
right.
about you as much as any bodybuilder in 2016. Your prep to the Olympia stage, you're showing at the Olympia, all that stuff. Not something we really need to rehash, but everybody wants to know what's next. What's next for Kevin Levrone? I know a lot of people
Well,
talked about, just whether your return to the Olympia stage was going to be kind of a one-time thing, and you made it seem on your social media yesterday that that's not the case.
it's not the case. And I want to say, first of all, thanks to you guys for pushing it, believing in me, getting behind me, and just giving the information to the fans, because I'm doing this for the fans, regardless of where I place or whatever. They're the reason why I decided to come out of retirement and to do this. And also, I wanted to get back in shape. I believe that I can do some damage out there with the bodybuilders today. And I did what I had to do for the Olympia, and but we're not finished. I want to finish the race. I have some things stacked up against me, which was some minor injuries I had to overcome. And I knew it going into the Olympia, walking out there, that I wouldn't be 100%. But there's no reason for me to cry. And you guys got to man up, brother, and move forward. So I'm looking forward to 2017. What's on the horizon is 9 full months of me training, balls to the walls. 9 months of me training balls to the walls, okay? Because my doctor's is going to release me on Tuesday. And all the haters, all the doubters, I'm going to make them eat their words, and they're going to shut up once and for all. and and want to go back hardcore, man. So I'm going to do a show 9 months from now, and that's what I'm going to do.
Now,
You know,
the discussions or criticisms I'm sure that you're aware of at the Olympia this year were pretty much like from your front shots, your side shots, your arms, your chest, your delts. Everything was very reminiscent of the old Kevin Levrone.
yeah, that's cool. But David, just stop right there. I mean, who else in the industry cannot work out for 15 years, okay, and do what I did in 6 months? Even if they were 100%, I wasn't even like 60%. So I understand what they were talking about and everything like that, but give me a fair shot. Give me a fair shot
Oh yeah, no,
at six
absolutely.
months of training. You know, I had quad tendonitis. It just didn't develop those last 6 months of me getting prepared for the Olympia. That was something that I had back in 2002. Okay, but my quads were so big to where it didn't matter. I had the size there. So by my muscles being smaller, me not training for 13 or 14 years, everything was loaded up on my tendons and my ligaments and my joints. So I felt everything. I didn't squat at all. When I did squat, probably about 2 or 3 times preparing for that show. So of course my legs are going to be down, you know. But whoever beat me up, they didn't know it. You guys thought that I was training for 6 straight months or whatever, balls to the wall. So I wasn't. I wasn't. So I wasn't going to say or come up with any excuses to back out of the show. I still finished the show. But now we know what the real story was. The real story was I wasn't able to squat or train my legs the way that I was able to train my upper body. Now, that in mind, my upper body was ready to blow up. I had to pull back on training my upper body as well because it would have been really overpowering for my lower body. So it was a
Okay.
lot going on. So the critics can say what they want. I walked the walk. I showed up. I did what I needed to do for my fans. But now I'm looking ahead. I'm looking at the finish line going forward, these next 9 months of what I need to do. And I could tell you right now, if I had to train 6 full months, 100%, and look like I looked on that stage, okay, at the Olympia, and came out looking like that, then I would say, you know what? I'm delusional. It's not going to happen. I can't build my quads, okay? But I know right now what I was faced with, what I'm faced with moving forward, So give me 9 months, then say, you know what? You had enough time, Kevin. If I come out there looking like crap, what's the problem, bro? Then age and time has caught up to me. And I know that's not the case. Age and time has not caught up to me. It was just that I was faced with these injuries. It didn't happen during the preparation. It was something that lingered over from 2002, 2003, 2000, you know. But I did tear my chest 9 weeks out. That's not a problem. I got over that. So let's see what we got moving forward. That's all I'm saying is give me 9 months of training, and then criticize me with 9 full months of training. Then see how delusional I am. And I don't think that's going to be the case. I think every person that saw Levrone, were rooting for me, but then again, they're like, dang, you know what? Maybe time caught up to Kevin. Well, it didn't. It didn't catch up to me. So I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. Yeah, they dogged me out or whatever it was. You guys gave the opinions and stuff. That's cool. But let me have a shot at what it is that I need to do, and that's all I ask for. Moving forward.
All right. Now, with 9 months of training, I mean, you've been pretty clear. The 6 months leading into the Olympia, you weren't at 100%. You have 9 months ahead of you. Is the training you're doing preparing for this next upcoming season? How far different is it from what you were doing, when you were competing in the 90s and the early 2000s? I mean, it's the training style, the volume, the reps. I mean, all that stuff. It might be easy to just for people to think, you had a formula figured out back then.
First of all, nothing's changed. Okay. The only obstacles that I needed to get over was the quad tendonitis. That's the only difference. So now that that's out of the way, I'm in the gym. I'm doing lunges. I couldn't even do lunges preparing for this Olympia. I didn't do lunges. I couldn't squat regularly on the basis. I couldn't even put 405 on my back. I did 315 for 15 reps one time. I could do leg press, but we all know that, you gotta load those muscles up with weight, in order for them to respond, because my body is used to what it feels. It's used to that 500, used to that 400, being on my back, used to muscle memory. That's what I need. I got to get in there and pound them legs, and I know it. And when I do that, it's going to wake up and it's going to respond just like my upper body did. I was repping out 405 on the bench for 8, 9, 10 reps with my upper body. I'm 52 years old, man. What guy out there, and the amount of stuff that I took was like this, So, I mean, it's, all I want is a fair shot at this thing. And then at the end of 2017 season, when I step on stage in May, June, or July, whenever it is, if you guys want to criticize the hell out of me, you know what? You got a right to do it. I'll take the blows. But at that moment, that's going to be the best that I can give you. And I know that deep down in my heart, So either we'll see where the chips fall. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's so obviously. I think it should go without saying. Your goal is to get.
And another thing, I want to say this as well, because people saying your health. I'm being monitored. I get my blood work done every 3 months. I didn't used to do that when I was competing in 2000 and in the 90s. I never got my blood work done. So I have more of a hold, or more of a control of what's going on with my cholesterol, what's going on with my blood pressure, what's going on with my test levels, what's going on with my GH levels. We didn't even know how to test for GH back then. We didn't even know to test for testosterone levels back then. What was my natural testosterone production in 1990, 93, 94, 95, all the way to 2003? I couldn't even test what it was. Could any other bodybuilder? And I doubt if Flex Wheeler knew what his was back in the 90s, or Dorian Yates knew what his was back in the 90s, or the growth hormone levels. We didn't monitor that stuff. We were just riding off or shooting in the dark, bro. So right now, what I just want to say to all my fans and everybody out there, including, some people that work for MD that says, oh, they're concerned about my health. Well, I got my health under control. I'm not stupid. I'm not dumb. My health is more under control now than when it was when I was competing back then. Yeah, okay. So we got all that stuff under control. That's not my concerns. My concerns is being able to put that weight on my back and squat without blowing anything out and being smart. So we've done that, and my doctor said, okay, now you're ready to go 100%. So all I'm saying is that's what we're going to do moving forward. We're going to go 100%. So age ain't got nothing to do with this. I'm a late bloomer to begin with anyway. And, so let's put all that crap out the window and let's just look forward and be focused on finishing the race positive. And that's what I'm going to do. And I love the critics. I love the guys that dog me out to say this and say that because they don't know what I'm going through. They're not God. They can't predict the future, but I know what I can do feeling the way that I feel right now. So,
Now, we're talking next year, May, June, July, whenever you decide to compete. I'm assuming the ultimate goal is to get back on the Olympia stage in 2017. Is that fair, or is it?
This is what I'm going to do, Dave. I'm myself right. I'm going to win a pro show because also there was a lot of professional bodybuilders that were sore, acting like babies. They were crying because I got a special invite. And they act like, well, you know what? Levrone shouldn't have a special invite. We've been out here training. What makes him so special? Okay, so I'm going to answer to these guys. All right. What makes me special is this: the fact that I won 23 pro shows. Okay. How many pro shows did you win? All right.
Me?
So I won. So no, not you. I'm talking to the dude out there that complained and whined and baby because Robin Shane gave me a special invite. I earned that. Okay. I competed 68 times in 11 years as a pro. And out of the 68 times, I placed in the top 5, 90% of those. Okay. I second place in the IFBB, 23 first place in the IFBB. So that should qualify me to have a special invite if they want to give out a special invite 14 years later after I retire. So those are my qualifications. My qualifications are better than anybody else's that's competing now, besides Phil Heath and Dexter Jackson. Okay, so that's why I was able to walk on stage. All right, so go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, you bring up an interesting topic about how many times you've competed. And I remember following you guys back in the 90s, and it seemed like we saw you guys on stage a lot. And when you talk about the other guys that we see competing these days, it seems like a lot of the competitors are, doing one show to qualify for the Olympia, then doing the Olympia, and then they're off the radar for another 7 or 8 months. I mean, what do you think the difference in mindset was from the guys in your era who we saw competing on a regular basis, and the guys today who seem like they want to hit 1 or 2 shows and be done for the year?
The mindset is back then we were workhorses. We didn't mind getting hurt, getting injured, and still walking on stage. Look at Dorian Yates. He still competed after he tore his bicep 6 weeks out from Olympia. He still went and competed. I still competed when I tore my pectoralis major minor off the bone in 2093. I still went and competed, and I had 7 months to get ready for the show, and I placed what, 5th or 6th at the Olympia after that. So it's balls to the walls, guts, having the guts to continue to train no matter what you're faced with. That's the difference. And that's what Dorian Yates did. That's what I did. And that's what we back in the 90s. We went in the gym. We didn't complain. We committed, and we finished. And that's exactly what I did this year. I didn't look for an excuse to bail out because I could care less. And my legs was this big. You know what? I was committed. I gave my word, and I was going to do it. Laugh at me, say what you want, but I know why my legs were like this, and I know I can fix it. So at the end of the day, I'm going to have the last laugh. If I had to train balls to the walls and walk out there with legs like this, then I'm crazy. There's something wrong with me. But that's not what's going on here. You know what I mean? So the difference is the balls of steel back then. compared to the excuses that people come up with now
No,
to drop out of a show.
Obviously you're pretty fired up. We could see in your video that you dropped on social media yesterday. You and I talked earlier on today. You're fired up about this, and in the
I'm
big
fired up because most people don't even know how to pronounce my last name. It's not Levrone. It's Levrone.
with an
Like
E on the end.
how long have I been eating, Dave?
Long time,
Eating
man.
since 1992. Turned pro in 1991 when I won the Nationals. They've been saying my name wrong. You would figure the people who say, oh well, Kevin's going to do this, he's going to do that they would know how to pronounce my name. It's
Yeah.
Levrone, just in case. Learn something. Levrone. It's Italian.
Learn
My father's
something.
Italian. My mother's black, and my fans gave me the mission to say, "Boom, learn something."
Learn something.
That's right.
Talking about your fans, you dropped the video on social media yesterday. The landscape of
Were you on my side, Dave?
yeah, man. Of course,
Did you?
we talked. We talked
Did you
going into
dog
the
me out?
show.
Did you dog me out after you saw my legs?
No, man.
Tell the
And
truth.
I'll be straightforward with
Keep
you.
it real with me,
You
bro.
got me. No, you got me on the spot on camera, and this is what I said right after we.
Serious.
This is what I said after we stepped off stage.
Because I heard that Bob Ciccarello, was Shawn on the show with you
Shawn
guys?
was Shawn, we did. I'll tell you what, man. We did
And Shawn was talking crap about something. I don't know if he said something stupid about Flex.
No, it was the
when
the
Flex
wrap up
wanted to
after
come back.
the wrap up we did after the Olympia when we were right outside the Orleans Arena on Saturday night, and it was or on Friday night and Saturday. It was Shawn and Flex and I. Bob does
Well,
his thing with
that
me
was
and my.
before anybody even knew that I was facing with any injuries. Correct?
Yeah, I mean, and the thing was
So
is like from an
I'll let you guys have that free pass.
yeah,
You get a free
from an
pass.
analyst standpoint, we had to say, hey, his legs weren't at where they were at before. And the second, the sentiment that I shared and that Shawn shared and that Flex shared is that you came out on stage and it was apparent that the legs were downsized and that you weren't going to be as competitive.
But nobody knew that I was injured.
Right, and that was the thing at
Nobody
the time.
knew that I didn't
Nobody
train
really
my
knew
legs,
that
right?
until after.
Cool.
But no,
So I give you guys that free pass.
there was
That's
a lot
cool.
of there was a lot of props given, even among Shawn, especially among Flex, saying, you know what, he came out, did what said he was going to do. And as I had said, it was pretty much just a cool moment for anybody who was a fan of bodybuilding that got to see Kevin Levrone step on stage again. And so as far as my critiques from an analyst standpoint, yeah, I had said, hey, is from the front.
No, I'm not talking about then. I'm talking about now moving forward.
Oh, moving forward, I tell you what, man, when I saw it, and this is funny, and I tell people this, and Bob's told me stories, and Peterson told me stories, and Shawn's told me stories, and Steve Blackman's told me stories about Kevin back in the day and how you saw him 16 weeks out from a show and you thought, no way. And then, Bob had a story where he said he ran into you at the Weider offices and didn't even know it was you, and it was like 12 weeks before the Olympia. So, on my end, when I saw you 8 weeks out, and I was in Baltimore for the Baltimore Pro. We did some training at Exile Fitness. When I had seen you at 8 weeks out, I was like, dude looks good. And then the video you dropped at 7 weeks out, you looked like an entirely different person to me. I was blown away. And the owner of Exile, the Exile Gym, I forget his name, super nice guy, but he was telling me, he's like, you got to see it to believe it, the progress he's made. And what I'm getting at is that I've seen firsthand what you did in a week and what you did over the course of when I first saw you during your prep at 8 weeks out to the day of the show. So I think, and and this is coming from an analyst standpoint and a fan standpoint, I think if you can train for 9 months, balls to the wall, if you look the way you did at the Olympia, training 6 months and you were dealing with some injuries, I think you can do big things next year. And I think, bodybuilding right now is just really needs like a fire and a spark, and we're seeing some of that stuff. People are fired up about young Dallas McCarver. People are fired up about Rulli looking like a freak at the Olympia this year. I mean, people are fired up about stuff, but the fans still want more, and I don't see any way that you getting back on stage next year isn't great for the fans, for the promoters, everything. But
it's going to be greater than what it was.
It's about yourself.
It's going to be greater than what happened in 2016. You know why? It's going to be greater because there's going to be more anticipation built up. People know that, okay, damn, okay, now Levrone's got this much time to train. There's nothing wrong with him. And they're going to see the original Levrone that they've been that they've been waiting to see. That's what they're going to see. That's what's going to happen. You know, and all the shakes and jitters and everything is gone out. I can't look any worse than I looked. I can only look better moving forward. You know what I mean?
Right,
And
right.
that's the glory of this whole thing. So I can guarantee you that they're going to see a better Levrone, and it's going to be an epic thing. Now, what's going to happen is I'm not going to disclose too much moving forward. It's going to be the element of surprise. What show I decide to do is going to be an element of surprise. All that stuff. You know, but I just want to say one thing. You know, you kind of get a little frustrated moving forward sometimes when you got to deal with a lot of negativity and uphill battles, you know. And for me, it's like I'm old school, man. You know, you want to call me out, you want to talk this trash, you want to do whatever, you know, put your money where your mouth is, you know. And I was over there, you know, over in Spain, not Spain, but Barcelona, and I was talking to Tony Doherty. And I said, look, Tony, I said, you know what, man? Tony, I love Tony Doherty. You know, he's done a lot for the sport, done a lot for us.
I think everybody loves Tony, man. He's a
And
good, he's a good dude.
I said, Tony, I got a few people talking smack. I said, how about if I wanted to do a grudge match,
Oh,
okay,
here we go.
against one of these bodybuilders who's talking trash towards me? And I said, this is what I'll do. I said, I'll put up the money. My company will put up $25,000. They can go scrape up their $25,000, right? They can go and train and do what they want to do to train and get in shape and back their mouth up. And me and whoever want or whoever talking smack, I'll call them out to a grudge match, and we can go head to head over there at Tony Doherty's show, 1-on-1, me and this person, okay?
That's coming
And
up
the
quick.
winner,
That one's in
yeah,
March. That
and
one's
the
in
winner
March.
takes the pot. How about that? And what I'll do with my money is I'll donate it to a charitable cause, okay? So whoever out there challenging Tony Doherty, you know, I put 25,000. I'm talking about old school, my old school boys who I competed against. And you know what I'm talking about. I'm calling out Shawn Ray right now. That's who I'm talking about. All right.
So are we talking you?
So I'm going straight up right now because people want to know how come I never answer them. I'm going to answer you this way, brother. You and I can meet up on stage. I'll put up $25,000. My company put up $25,000. If you don't have your $25,000, I'll put it up for you. And if you think you can beat me, okay, you can have the 50 G's. I'll take my 50,000 and donate it towards a charitable cause because I don't want the money. I don't need the money. I'm doing it for my fans. And that's what I'll do. So if you have the balls to go in the gym, train like I did, put on the trunks, and back up what I'm already backing up, meet me over there on stage at Tony Doherty's show. I already got it set up. He said he'll have the grudge match. You and I can come out on stage. We'll let the fans decide. And it'll only take about 45 minutes. We can go head to head and pose down and see who can do what. Why not?
I think the fans would love to see it.
You
You know,
know?
I've spoken with Sean an extent.
So it's
He
easy for
doesn't
people
seem to
to
have
sit back
any
and
plans
talk.
for a comeback.
It's
But
easy for people to sit back and talk, but you don't have to worry about coming back to the Olympia stage or coming back competing against the regular guys. You're just competing against me, right?
1-on-1 with Kevin, huh?
Right. And why not do that for the fans? Why not give the fans what the fans want?
All
I'm
right,
giving the fans what the
we know
fans want.
Sean. We know Sean's gonna be watching. Sean Ray,
Yeah,
$25,000 challenge from Kevin Levrone right here. You heard it here first
that's right, on MD.
on
So, and
MD.
I know you're going to say you don't want to put up the money or whatever. I'll put it up for you, Sean. How about that, buddy? And if you look better than me, you get $50,000. And I know how much you love money. So either you
I
show
was
up on
expecting. I'm
stage,
like, oh man, I'll have Kevin on
yeah.
for my first show.
So
It'll be good.
either you show up on
I didn't
stage,
expect
Shawn, or you
this.
shut up, or you keep your mouth shut. Okay. So that's my challenge to you, bro. So from here on out, I don't want to hear no more videos of you sitting out there talking about videos.
Oh,
Kevin look like
yeah,
this.
he's. I guarantee he sees this one. He's gonna, he's
Yeah.
gonna put his 2 cents
Kevin's
in.
washed up this. Kevin washed up or whatever. Father Time caught up to Kevin. Bro, Father Time is nothing. Let's see what you can do on stage next to me. All right? If you look better than me, you get 50 G's.
All right, man. I'll tell you what. I'll probably be off the call with
Hey,
you
David,
on the phone with
guess
Shawn.
what? David, it ain't no money out of his pocket because we know how cheap he is.
I'll tell you what, and and look, man, I'm gonna tell you this, and I'm
You
gonna tell you
know?
straight up. Sean has been good to me in that department, and I'm not gonna get in between any beef between you and me, and
Ain't no
you and
beef. It
Sean.
ain't
But
no beef.
Sean's bought me a couple dinners. He's never left me with
That's
a
cool. That's
taxi bill.
cool. Well,
I don't know
I'm
if
just saying,
if he
I'm just
likes me
saying,
better than everybody
I'm just
else, but
trying to
Sean's been
figure
good
out
to
what we
me.
can do for the fans
All right,
because that's what I would like to do. You know,
I think
he's a
obviously it would
bodybuilder. I
be.
put my money where my mouth is.
It would be huge for bodybuilding, obviously, seeing Kevin and Sean
You
back
know,
on stage against each other.
yeah.
I don't know that it's going to
I,
happen.
I, I put my money where my mouth is. You know, I just don't talk and try to drive people down on the ground negativity. So, what I try to do is give a little back to charity, and let's make a happy event out of it. Everybody wins. So all he got to do is go in the gym and back up and just stop talking. And if you're not going to do this, Shawn, just shut up. Don't make no more videos about me. That's all.
Oh, it's getting hot.
All right.
All right, man. I'll
That's
let him
all I'm
know.
saying.
He's
All
on
right.
notice. I'm sure Tony Doherty will be more than happy to set it up and have
Yeah.
you two
Tony's
on
waiting.
stage.
Tony waiting. I'm ready.
All right, man. We'll see Melbourne next year. Let's talk a little bit about you bring up negativity, and obviously it comes from a lot more directions other than just the
Yeah.
analysts. One of the things I talked to this subject with a lot of the old school guys, and the difference in how
Oh, by the way, I don't want to cut you off, but there's a lot of talk going around about Flex Wheeler making a comeback. And I want to say this personally out of my mouth. I love Flex Wheeler. Out of everybody out there, two guys, Flex Wheeler, Chris Cormier, has been 100% supportive of me. If Flex decides to come, first thing that, matter of fact, I think I already told him, he has my support 100%. Nothing but positive, 100%. If he decides he wants to work out with me, great. If he decides he wants to compete, great. I love Flex, man. And I want whatever he decides to do, I'm backing him 100%. And that's what it needs to be because I don't know whatever it is driving him. He only knows what that is. But far as a person that love and respect this guy and what he stood for, he's had one of the most beautiful physiques ever. He's one of the person that I looked up to. I think he's incredibly awesome. I would love to see him compete. Back on stage. So for me, it would just be an honor if I could say, hey, look, man, anything I could do to help you out to get there, fine. Here I am, Flex. It's just simple and easy as that. I'm not going to sit here and dwell on anything negative about how he's going to place or his obstacles that he has to overcome because it's not about that. It's about building that guy up, lifting him up, putting him on the pedestal so that he can perform and do what it is that he needs to do. As far as us bodybuilders from the 90s or from that era, we just got to lift each other up, you know? And that's what it's all about. It ain't about beating somebody down because he has a thought and an idea. It's about lifting them up. There's nothing delusional about him wanting to come back or do anything that he decides he wants to do with his body. That's between him and God. Who are we to judge where he's going to place or what's propelling him to do that? So I just want to say, Flex, I love you, brother. I'm proud of you. If you decide to do it, let me know. I'll be there cheering you on 100%. Matter of fact, I'll be backstage helping you pump up, bro.
All right, man. That's good old school camaraderie. Some of the stuff we're missing today. What I was getting at was the different dynamic that we see in the fitness industry today, and I don't just say bodybuilding because it's fitness industry wide with social media.
Yeah.
Obviously, you have more fans out there vocally supporting you now than ever through social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, but there's also a thousand times more criticisms than you faced when you were competing, back in the day. How does that affect your mindset when you're getting ready for a show? You
All
see
right.
the
Well,
guys who got the love for you, but on the
this
same
is this is
side, the
how
people
it
that are
goes. This
doubting.
is how it is. This is how it is. All right. You want to know how it is? Um, Negativity drives me. Okay. It drives me to work harder and faster and not quit. There's a guy that reached out. He goes, "Hey, Kevin, I'm one of your haters." And he sent me a message. "I'm one of your haters. I'm a hater because you're doing something that I couldn't do, and I got hated on. So I was hating on you, but I learned that because you still kept going. As a hater, you taught me how to believe in myself. So I want to thank you, man, for teaching me how to believe in myself. Even though I'm a hater, now I'm a believer and I believe in myself. So I don't have any reason to hate on you anymore. I'm not going to hate on myself. I was hating you because I hated myself for quitting. And I said, you know what, man? I'm really proud of you for stepping up and admitting, your weaknesses or your whatever it is that you were going through. And it was just something beautiful to hear, because everybody, it's not a, I don't know why people, are negative or whatever. Only they know that. So I can't sit here and hate on somebody because they're saying something negative about me that I don't like. All I can say is, hey, man, I hope you find yourself, but I'm not going to quit. I'm going to continue to move forward. If you want to join me in what I'm doing, maybe we can change your attitude, your outlook towards life, and everybody be blessed from it. So that's how I deal with it. You need those guys, and those guys will buy the tickets. Those haters are going to show up, take the pictures, because they want to see what you look like. They want to see if you can do it, and if you can do it, and you do continue to move forward and do it, it's going to help them get out of their rut and say, "Daggone, you know what? I was hated on and I stopped, but that guy right there, he gave me hope through the hate that I gave him." And that's what it is, man. So we have to embrace it all. There's not a perfect world. Nobody's perfect, but we're going to set perfect examples of not quitting.
Oh man, when we talk about you making comebacks, Flet's making comeback. I wanted to get your take on Dexter Jackson because you competed against Dexter back in the day. He's the only guy that you've competed against before that was on the Olympia stage with you this year. And we've talked so much over the last couple of years about Dexter's legacy and being a Mr. Olympia, winning every Arnold Classic there was, except for the new Asia one this year. He holds the record for victories. I believe he's at 28 or 29 now, and he's 48 years old and doesn't really show any signs of slowing down. I mean, you competed against Dexter. In fact, your last Mr. Olympia, I think Dexter was, one place. I believe he was one place ahead of you. Where does Dexter fit in? He's only got one Olympia title, and when I say only one Olympia title, I mean that's like saying you only won the lottery once. I mean, it's still incredible. But he's only got one Olympia title, but the most wins ever, and his longevity is unparalleled. Where does Dexter fit in among the greatest of all time as far as bodybuilders goes?
I'm damn near going to have to say that Dexter is probably one of the greatest because he's outperformed all of us at a higher level, and he's still doing it right now. And that's greatness. You take the titles out of it. You talk about his accomplishments. Let's talk about the accomplishments and the legacy and the years of commitment and the just the consistency. I mean, you talk about that. That's like, it's unparalleled. It's unheard of. It's unnatural. It's something that nobody has never done. It's like discovering a piece of land or discovering something great in life, or creating new invention. It's almost like Apple and and all these things with windows and stuff that nobody's never. This guy's done something that nobody has never done, and walked in those areas. Look at his legacy, man. And he's so
Absolutely.
humble, and he's so in the moment with each and every show that he does. It's just incredible. So I'd have to say he's probably the greatest bodybuilder that has ever lived. And I'm going to end it right there because, you know, 5 minutes, Dave. We're going to wrap this up.
All right,
Okay.
we're gonna wrap this thing up. Lots of
All right.
bodybuilding talk. Something I want to do on my show is we talk so much with everybody about the sport, competing stage, but sometimes we don't get a chance to get to know you guys off the stage. And one of my favorite local broadcasters here that does a lot of interviews with the Packers. They've done some fun stuff, totally off the topic, and I thought I'd throw some stuff at you your way. So it's like hot seat, not bodybuilding related stuff. So
All right.
I got a couple questions lined up. First, your first concert. What was the first concert you ever went to?
Creed.
Creed was the first. So
Yes.
even in like the 80s and 90s, man, never any,
No,
never
nothing,
any
man.
like Def Leppard
It
or
was
Bon
Creed.
Jovi
It
or
was Creed.
nothing. All right.
Yeah, it was Creed, bro.
First concert is
And
Creed.
I saw a picture of you. I saw a picture of you with the guy with the bandana around his
Brett
head. What's his name?
Michaels. Brett Michaels. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's- Poison's my second
Brett
favorite
Michaels.
band.
Yeah,
Bon
Brett
Jovi's my
Michaels, man.
first. So it was
Yeah.
pretty cool meeting Brett. A buddy of mine promotes concerts
Yeah.
in the area. A friend I grew up with, and he's been super generous.
We got
And-
3 more minutes till countdown.
all right, man. Tell you what, I'll wrap this up in two. Second question: your celebrity crush.
Havana Trump.
Ivana Trump. All right, that's a good one. All right, number three.
That's his daughter, right?
That's the daughter. That's the daughter.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
by the
yeah.
way, we're recording this is the day after the election, so we had a fun
Yeah.
conversation earlier about that.
Talk about the election, huh?
That we're gonna stay away from for right now. Maybe
How
we'll,
about shaboom?
maybe we'll come
Trumpet,
back.
baby.
Maybe we'll come
And
back
my
for
fans that
another
I
day.
could say shaboom about time.
Right.
Actually, I'm happy Trump won. God bless America. Now he saved this country, bro. I just got to add that in there. I'm sorry. Now
No,
I
you're
will bring the Levrone Signature Series to America and manufacture it here. Okay. Thank God.
Kevin's gonna make America big again. Make America big again. All right. My next question:
That's right.
if you had one superpower, what would it be?
Fly.
Fly.
Yeah.
All right.
I always have dreams of flying and levitating and flying.
Okay, question number 4. Your favorite person to follow on social media?
I don't have one, man. My fans.
Just the
My
fans?
fans.
All right.
Yeah, I communicate with them, man. I really do. Those guys keep me going, man.
All
Yeah,
right.
it's just the fans, man. The comments and stuff they write and stuff is just unbelievable. And you know what? I want to thank my fans for fighting for me. Because if somebody says something negative, they got to fight through the fans, man. My fans will tear them up, brother. And I appreciate my fans for being loyal. And this is the only reason why I'm decided to move forward 2017 is my fans. And we're going to fight this thing to the end. So you guys keep fighting for me. I'm going to do my fighting on the other side for you guys, man. It's the fans. MD, I want to thank MD. I want to thank Steve Blackman for his vision. I want to thank you, David Baye, for having me here, man.
Absolutely.
It's been an honor
Thank
and
you
a
very much for
pleasure.
being on here.
And anytime, man. And I look forward to coming back, man. And we're going to unwind 2017 right here, baby, up close and personal on my road to success and finish to the finish line.
All right. Well, let's make America big again, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
On that note, my fan says, learn something.
All right, guys. That is going to do it for myself and Kevin Levrone, our very first episode of MD All Access. Thank you guys for joining in. We're going to have big shows coming up, all the biggest names in bodybuilding. We're going to have a lot of fun with this thing. So this is just the beginning. Once again, thank you, Kevin, and we are out.
Peace.